Hello, everyone. I am here at the new Humble Grounds location. It is so cute. Great coffee, great breakfast. And Kris from Green Balance Pest Control is going to be joining me shortly, and we are going to discuss natural ways to prevent pests from getting in your home or office. And she will share all of her tips and tricks with us. Let's see if I can add her. Please hold, because technology is not always my strong suit on these apps. But oh yay! Looks like she's.
Maybe.
Hello, I can hear you. There
Let's
you are.
see. Oh, you got a nice little shot there for a minute of the. Oh, let's see. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So this is Kris with Green Balance Control, Eco-Friendly Pest Control. And so I just wanted to hop on here with you because we had our Natural Health Network meeting the other day, and you were sharing some great tips on how to naturally keep pests out of your home and office, because you do
Yeah.
both commercial and residential. And so
Yeah.
I thought that that would be nice to share with our people.
Yeah. I would be happy to share. Let me know if you can't hear me at all. um, but yeah, a lot of people, I think, with pest control, their mindset is, oh, just come spray and make it all disappear. But there are a lot of things that we try to educate our customers on that they can do, right? It's not all about product. Obviously, we want to be very mindful of products that we're using, but we also want to be mindful of how can we minimize the amount of product that needs to be used, no matter how great it is. So, I mean, there's so many different ways I can talk about, kind of right off the bat. Some of the first things, being a mom of 3 kids, my kids are always leaving the door open. And I get that from a lot of customers. So usually some of the first things I recommend to customers are a door mesh screen.
Yeah.
Amazon has them. They're great. But I love those because, I can rest assured that my kids are going in and out. And after, even though I tell them, shut the door, I can rest assured that bugs and flies, especially mosquitoes, that sort of thing, aren't being constantly let into the house. So that's usually the first thing I recommend to customers. Also, kind of on that same line, there are different vent covers that you can get for a home for like the air ducts and stuff. You've got your vents. Bugs can come in many different ways into a home, and unfortunately, I can't control all those ways. As much as I'd love to, I cannot. And so one thing I usually recommend is there are vent covers that you can get because bugs can come in via the attic. They can come down. They can get through many cracks and crevices, but vents is sometimes one of them also. So there are vent covers that you can get to help prevent that. Also, just good practice, how is the weather stripping around your house on your doors? That is not only going to be helpful for pests, but it'll also be helpful for your electricity bill, to check on that, because that is a very common, some of the most common areas for your ground level bugs coming from outside. They're going to be coming in through those cracks and crevices along that perimeter foundation of the home. And so that's a very common area, is around those doors. Also, windows. Here in Texas, we have very extreme heat. And so it really takes a toll on our houses. So I always tell people, like, let's check on the caulking around our windows. Ants is a very common, pest that we have. And a lot of times those ants can get in through those cracks and crevices around those window sills. And so that's something that, again, not only will be helpful for pests, it'll also be helpful for your electricity bill if you're kind of helping keep your house, more tight.
I think it was.
Yeah. Do you have any questions so far? I've got a long list of things I could give you.
I think it was Dallin that told me a good rule of thumb around doorways and stuff was, if you could see daylight through the door, and that well, obviously, you know, I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. So
Yeah.
I so this is just from a recent experience. We were moving a big piece of furniture from one room to another, and we flipped it up on a dolly and realized how many things were eggs, spider eggs and stuff are there. And so
Yep.
like another tip is make sure to dust under furniture regularly.
Well, another great thing for spiders is so, when we come out to do pest control, we're trying to create that, that base parameter, right? Because you've got bugs that are kind of coming through that ground level. And so we've got treatment that we can help with that. That usually will help either push bugs away or, any bug, just like anything else, if it's desperate enough to try to get to a water source, then it will cross the product. Of course, it would pick it up and die. But our thought process is also when we're at a home, what are other ways that bugs are entering? Obviously, I kind of mentioned that roof. Spiders, they don't fly in the sense that they've got wings, but a lot of spiders, they will cast out their webbing and drift through the wind. So they can land on a home that way and come in through cracks and crevices. But also, we're going to be looking at the foliage around the house. How close is the foliage to the home? Because say you've got trees that are pretty close and you've got branches that are overhanging to the home, well, that's kind of creating like a bridge in a sense. You've got a bridge going up and over the product that we have that not only bugs but rodents also, so it's a two-part on that, but they can get to the home via that way. And so that is something that I always recommend is let's pay attention to what's going on around the home. Maybe let's try to trim back some of these bushes or trim back some of these trees so we don't have that. Also, basically around that parameter, what else is going on in the environment? Do you have a lot of mulch built up? A lot of times people come in the spring, we'll do treatments, but then they'll come and they'll dump a bunch of fresh mulch. And so that's something you always want to consider. And then, they sometimes do it too high. Well, then we can't see the foundation, and thus you can't kind of keep an eye on your property as far as if you're getting termites. And so these are different things that people do on a daily basis they don't always think of, but it can play a big part into causing possibly more issues with bugs just by creating more of an environment for them. There's a lot of bugs. If you've got a lot of debris by the house, a lot of buildup, that is very conducive to millipedes and centipedes. And so sometimes, a lot of times in the fall, to be honest, in the spring, I start getting calls for those because you've had a lot of leaves and all of that over the fall that have built up, and you haven't done your spring cleaning yet, inside or out. So I kind of ask those questions. Well, hey, do you have this? Do you have this kind of going around your home? These things might be adding to the issue that, yes, I can spray, but I also want to look at the source of the issue. So let's go ahead and get some of this stuff cleaned up around the house so we're not creating a more conducive environment for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you said something about sealing trash cans as well. Make sure that you're
So inside, a lot of times, not everyone deals with like the general pests on a daily basis, right? But one thing that a lot of homeowners get somewhat frequently is gnats. And so I often get calls for those. And to be honest, some of the first things I tell people is, you know what, I'm going to give you some homework to do first. Before you spend money on me coming out and trying to do, a little bit, I'm going to give you some stuff to do, because a lot of times homeowners can help take care of stuff themselves. So with gnats, a lot of times what we'll tell people is a couple things, that trash can being one of them, and it's helpful for not only gnats, but you need to have a good trash can in your home that has that the lid seals. A lot of times people have the trash cans with the swinging lids, or it's just not a very tight seal, or you have the ones that are built into the bottom cabinets, right? And it's just a pull drawer out. And so nothing is sealing that off. And where that comes into play is that's a food source, right? You've got gnats that are going to go in there. You've got decomposing food. Flies will go in there. And so having a trash can with a sealable lid is really going to help with that. And then kind of on that line of sealing, we also would usually highly recommend to around your drains. We tell people, hey, when you're not using your drains, or say maybe you have, a spare bedroom and bathroom in your house that doesn't get used very often. Unfortunately, you have a couple things that can happen in your drains. You can have bugs that come out, especially roaches. They come out through the drains. It gets very moist in there in the sewers and all of that during certain times of the year, so they will start pushing up. And so keeping stoppers on those is helpful for that. But then also for the gnats or other bugs, there's certain bugs that will nest in there. You've got bacteria buildup in those drains. And so if you get, gnats all of a sudden, sometimes you can buy food at the grocery store and there's already eggs in those, unfortunately, as much as we don't want to think about that. And then once they hatch, you've got a food source. They can go in there. So keeping that clean, keeping a stopper on the drain is just going to be helpful in multiple different ways for you. Obviously, cleaning the drains, every so often, I usually recommend, with a product of your choice. Everyone is different as according to what they're comfortable using in their home. But I recommend using something that can really help break down bacteria buildup in those drains so you don't have that food source and all of that for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are tips. So if you would like to look into what Green Balance Pest Control offers in addition to these tips, make sure to go over to naturalhealthnetwork.org and click the directory tab and find Green Balance Pest Control and give Kris a call. She will help you out. You've taken care of all of our homes that we've moved around for years now, 8-9 years. So I can attest to the quality of their pest control, and I am super, super sensitive to smells and to chemicals and stuff like that, and I've never had an issue with you guys, so I am a customer for life.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for today. Is there anything else did we miss any tips that you had on your list?
I have so many tips I could share. Probably too many for this. We might have to do a part 2 because, yes, there's so many things that homeowners can do and just so many things that we often don't think about, across the span, traveling, going to restaurants. There's so many ways, ordering new, maybe buying something off of Facebook Marketplace and bringing it into your home. There's so many different ways that just on a general basis we don't think of. That can happen. One last tip I'll give is, we are coming up. Everyone's planning their summer trips pretty soon. Keep an eye out for bed bugs. We can do, treatments on luggage. You can put little things on the bottom of your bed to kind of help protect. One of the biggest things, a lot of times people come home, they put their luggage on their bed, right, to unload their clothes and everything. Well, guess what? If there's bed bugs on there, they're now going to be able to get into your bed. So I always recommend don't put your luggage on your bed when you come home from a trip. You want to keep it separate so that way if there is bugs and they do try to get to the mattress, if you've got these protective things on the base of your bed that we can offer, then they won't be able to get up to the mattress and all of that good stuff. So that's just the last tip I'll give. Like I said, we might have to do a part 2, but I just want people thinking about that as they're going on trips because bed bugs are unfortunately so much more prevalent than people realize. So.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think I need you to stop by with some of those preventative.
Yeah, or maybe I should say spring break. I guess spring break is closer. A lot of people travel for spring break.
So do you have any promos right now?
Any promos? Yeah, so right now what we're offering is if you get set up with recurring services for our general pest services, we're comprehensive, so we offer a lot of different things, pretty much all of them: rodent, termite, mosquito, German roaches, but obviously our daily is the general pest for your general household bugs. So if you get set up for recurring general pest services, we will take $50 off the initial service for any customers that mention the NHN. And just as a side note, we don't have a contract associated with our services. I just try to provide a good service that people want to stay with us. They see the value in it. I don't ever want anyone feeling like they're forced into a service. I just would much rather have a better relationship and better communication.
Yes, I love that about y'all. But like I said, I haven't gone anywhere and I don't plan on going anywhere, so it just works. Right, well,
Perfect.
It's raining on me. I came outside because I didn't want to be inside. So I will let you go, but thanks again much for your time, and we will schedule that part 2.
Yes, just let me know when, and I can keep giving you wonderful bits of knowledge.
Awesome. Take care. Have a great day. Everybody stay dry. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.